Good morning, good morning, good morning, Vision Building Women. I hope you are already having a wonderful, wonderful morning. I wanted to share something with you. Last night, I was in a training session with Dennis Kimbro. Some of you may know Dennis Kimbro. He is a professor. He is a world-renowned speaker. He's an author, and he's the author of the book, The Wealth Choice, What Makes the Great Great. If you don't have those books, those are wonderful books to read. And so I was actually in a session with him, listening to him speak, and he said something that I wanted to share with you this morning. This is something I want you to think about throughout the rest of your weekend, okay? Now, one of the things he said that one of the last words that Nelson Mandela said before he died, and I'm going to give you the story, and then I'll tell you what Nelson Mandela said, then I'll tell you what I'm coming on to say to you. So he said that Nelson Mandela was on his deathbed and he was just trying to breathe. And this reporter finds his way in there. And Nelson Mandela, the people were trying to keep the reporter out. Nelson Mandela says, let the reporter in. And so the reporter comes in, he says, Dr. Mandela, I want to ask you a question. And so he asked the question, and then Nelson Mandela answered him. And what I want to share with you is just one of the things that I got from Nelson Mandela's answer. So his answer was, have you closed the gap between your potential and your performance? Have you closed the gap between your potential and your performance? Now, when I first heard this, I was like, it just struck me. I mean, it was just so powerful, because to me, what that says is that, have you closed the gap between not taking action and taking action? And it's like, that's what we do here in Vision Building Women. I told you that we are on a shift. We are no longer just sitting around, and we've never done that anyway, but some of you have just kind of been sitting around and not doing anything with all the things that God has given you, all the gifts, the talents, the skills, the abilities. And so when I heard this, have you closed the gap between your potential and your performance? Now, here's one thing that I've always said. You'll hear me say this about people. I've kind of changed my mindset with it now, but I will always say sometimes, oh my goodness, that person has so much potential. But then I realize, when I say that somebody has potential, what I'm really saying is they could be doing something, but they're not. They could be doing something, but they're not. So if I say you've got so much potential in ministry, then that means that what I'm really saying is you could be doing some things, but you're not. Okay. You have the ability to do it. You have the skill to do it, but there are some things that are keeping you from doing it. It could be fear. It could be lack of confidence. It could be money. It could be any number of different things. All right. So then now let's skip over to the next word. It says, have you closed the gap between your potential, what you could be doing, but you're not, and your performance? Now, what does performance mean? Performance means that you're actually doing something, okay? That you're actually taking the action and you're actually doing something. So have you closed the gap between your potential and your performance? So are you going to make a decision to take action on what it is that you know that God has said for you to do? I remember when I finally made a decision to say that, yes, I'm going to retire. Yes, I'm going to do what it is that I want to do. That was one thing. When I finally made a decision on, yes, I'm going to step out and begin to join some things that I haven't done before, do some networking that I haven't done before. When I finally did those things, I had the potential of doing them, but I had to make the decision to move from potential to performance. Literally, it's moving from no action to action, or yes, I could be doing it, to actually doing it. So here's what I want you to think about over this weekend. Really consider, just take one thing. Just take one thing. You don't have to go through all the different things that God has given you, all the things that you have written down in your journals, all the different things. You don't have to go through all that. Just find one thing, one area in your life that you can move from potential to performance. Okay, one area in your life that you can move from potential to performance and then begin to perform. Okay, it could be ministry, it could be school, it could be writing that book, it could be working towards that new job, it could be whatever it is, but make the decision that I'm going to move from just having potential, meaning I could do it, but I'm not doing it. I have the potential to do it. I have the skill to do it. I have the ability to do it. I have the knowledge to do it. I have everything it is to do, but I'm not doing it. That's potential. To performance, meaning I'm actually doing it. I may have to do it afraid. I may have to do it and I don't really know what I'm doing. I may have to do it without any help at the beginning, but regardless of what it is, then just start to do it. Okay. So this weekend, really consider moving from potential to performance. And remember that I always say that when you move, God will position you for more. Okay. You want more, you want to see more in your life, then make some movement towards performance. Get out of that whole potential area and make some movement towards performance. All right. So, y'all have a wonderful evening or a wonderful day, I guess it is. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. This is Dr. Sandra Wall Williams. I am your Master Vision Mentoring Coach of the Vision Building Institute.